we are projecting no less than 3.7% growth in real terms. And of course, to China, 3.7% is a very low figure, but our preceding year, 2016, is only 2%. So it's a very positive growth. And we are also projecting similar positive signs for the coming years, because even IMF has increased or raised its forecast for the world to 3.9%. But if you ask me my worries and concerns, I'm afraid many of those are still related to politics. That there are just too many arguments in Hong Kong, especially with the political parties at the Legislative Council. That is one side of my worry. The other side is how we could give more hope and confidence to the young people in Hong Kong.
At APEC, you proactively try to promote Hong Kong, and once again, World Economic Forum, you try to do the same thing. But the thing is, whether Hong Kong will be competitive. For example, you want to create a stock market. You even met the New York Stock Exchange CEO and suggest that Hong Kong one day is going to exceed you guys. But
no, I didn't say that. I said that we will continue to improve and compete.
Okay, there we go. But the thing is, how to compete? Will Hong Kong still relevant, even for the region?
Well, I think Hong Kong is very, very relevant, especially now we have two major national initiatives in front of us that will provide us with abundant opportunities. One is, of course, the Belt and Road, which there are now 100 countries, organizations that have participated or supported. So that will open a host of opportunities for Hong Kong. And that's why last December, I signed a cooperation arrangement with the National Development and Reform Commission to spell out the central government's support for Hong Kong's participation in and contribution to the Belt and Road, particularly in some of the emerging economies. Then closer at home, we have the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Bay Area, which Governor Ma Xingrui and myself are very excited about this initiative.
I can see you're doing diligent work to every key person, every key region, every key organization. Whether these mechanisms will really let Hong Kong to go to the next level does not have much to do with these mechanisms, but rather how Hong Kong is going to take advantage of it. I understand, Madam Chief Executive, that next week, I mean the coming week, you're going to host a forum, a high-level forum
in Beijing.
On Belt and Road. And you try to bring in state-owned enterprises from China. That's quite a try. Hong Kong combined with state-owned enterprises in China. Tell me more about that.
I'll be leading a delegation of almost 170 professionals to this conference. And through the support of the central authorities, they have also mobilized a lot of state-owned enterprises to join this forum. So my role is really a sort of matching. So we have excellent professional services ranging from banking, insurance, arbitration, to contract management and infrastructure. So these are the services and expertise that we could offer to state-owned enterprises using Hong Kong as the platform to go out to the rest of the world. They are already doing, but we feel that with this Belt and Road initiative, certainly more could be done.
Not only working on the projects, but also working on the leadership. You, since coming into the office, met with Chinese President Xi Jinping 4 times. And I understand, both through reports and through the grapevine, that you have very extensive discussions about Hong Kong and about relationship, Hong Kong and the motherland. Tell me more about what is this nature of discussion you had with President Xi.
Actually, of the 4 occasions I mentioned, 2 of those were sort of sit-down and discussion that I talked about Hong Kong's situation and, of course, asked President Xi for support. One is in April last year when I went up to Beijing to receive my instrument of appointment from Premier Li Keqiang. The other will be in December last year when I did my first report duty. The other 2 occasions will be when President Xi came to Hong Kong to attend my inauguration ceremony. That was a brief chat. And of course, the last occasion was at APEC. I did not actually have a chance to sit down with President Xi, but of course, in between meetings, and there will be a bit of encounters.
I must opportunity is impressive, right?
I must say that when President Xi arrived in Hong Kong on the 29th of June last year, you may remember at the airport apron, he said that he was rather emotionally attached to Hong Kong. I certainly feel that in those close encounters with President Xi, he knows Hong Kong very well. He recognizes our strengths and our weaknesses, and he wants us to do well. So a proactive government and proactive policies, I believe, will be something that President Xi will give us his utmost support.
Even with central authority support, it is really up to the people in Hong Kong.
Definitely. Well, there are a lot of things we want to do in almost every economic sector. We now have a sort of blueprint. In financial services, the first thing that we have done is, of course, to set up a financial leaders forum to provide clear direction for Hong Kong's financial services. So one of the things that have come out as a result of this leadership is the introduction of some changes to Hong Kong's listing rules to accommodate the new economy enterprises, which has been very well received. Actually, we have not got all the rules ready, but we have already received very positive feedback. And that is what I regard as being proactive. Hong Kong has to realize that there are opportunities, but you have to strengthen your institutions and capability to seize those opportunities.
Talking about institution strengthening, that is the hard part, isn't it? How it would work out is still a big question mark. Madam Chief Executive, you have any thought?
Well, to me, that is, I would regard that as perhaps my asset. I have been a lifelong public servant.
Yes,
this year is my 38th year in the
Congratulations.
government. So people said that I know this government inside and outside. So, and of course, I have been working with civil servants throughout my career.
But now you are the chief executive. It's different, though.
Yeah, but because I know them. I know their difficulties. I know their fears and worries. And that's why I can lead them by giving them the clear steer, but at the same time addressing their fears and worries.
Carrie Lam, Hong Kong has always maintained some strong economic growth with its strong track record and the support of the motherland. But some issues are more challenging to Carrie Lam than just the numbers. They are the welfare issues of ordinary Hong Kong citizens and the cultural identity of Hong Kong, especially among the Hong Kong youth. In our exclusive interview, Chief Executive Carrie Lam did not hide from these questions are raised, but very upfront in explaining the reality and talk bravely about the solutions she has to work hard for.
Recently, we have seen some language dispute coming from one university in Hong Kong. Young students refuse to take the Mandarin test, which is the language spoken nationally, but rather prefer only the local language. So this is only a reflection of the debate going on in Hong Kong about its identity and about its cultural link with the motherland. Madam Chief Executive, what do you make of this case?
Well, this particular incident, in my view, is not so much about this identity or this teaching or learning of Putonghua. It reflects again what I said, one of my worries is engagement with young people. Whether institutions, especially those in senior management positions, have been engaging the young people sufficiently and provide them with channels for communication and so on. But of course, that doesn't mean that I condone some of the behavior of the students using abusive languages and so on. But I feel that perhaps that is what I need to do more, is to engage the young people.
But that's a long process, Madam Chief Executive. You want to have the government work. You want to have your economy go forward. It needs efficiency. So a long-time work about the young people, communication, and short-term goals. How to reconcile? I don't want to sit in your chair.
Yes. My seat is a very hot one.
There's
no doubt about that.
It is a very hot one.
But Hong Kong cannot sort of lag behind. We have lost a bit of opportunities. So whether it's short-term goals or long-term plans, I need to move in all directions in order to give people hope and confidence, and also strengthen Hong Kong's foundation for the longer term development of Hong Kong.
Portray Hong Kong from outside, black and white, so-called pro-establishment, which is so-called closer to Beijing, and those who are not. But Hong Kong is much more complicated than that, Madam Chief Executive. The thing is how to bring people to one consensus, and that is really needed. Rally the crowd.
Well, for a society as free and diverse as Hong Kong, I have no such illusion. Tian Wei is really trying to engage and communicate with a view to build a broad enough consensus for us to move on.
What is broad enough for you?
Like land supply for housing. Everybody knows we are short of housing. Everybody is worried about the escalated property prices. So I believe deep down in the heart of the majority of Hong Kong people, they want to see more land being formed, more houses being built. So how to provide a platform for this majority of Hong Kong's population to speak up, so that we would not be sort of led by the small minority who somehow do not want to see development in Hong Kong.
Hijack the whole conversation and also the whole way forward. But then it's not easy once again.
Nothing is easy.
Now we know about that, right, very clearly. Madam Chief Executive, you are the first female Chief Executive of Hong Kong. I still, from even outside Hong Kong, as a woman, take great pride in that fact. But how is it like for you to function and also bring at least half of the population in Hong Kong, women, as they say, holding half of the sky, with you on some consensus? I think that probably is also a way forward.
Well, that's true, but it will need time again. Hong Kong actually provides equal opportunities for men and women. But there are still certain areas which women are not well represented. Political representation is not enough in my view. For example, in my cabinet, apart from myself, I got 16 principal officials, and only 2 are women. So the percentage is not very encouraging. Equally, in many listed companies, if you look at the board of directors, look at the chairman, again, not very well represented. So we need to do better in this aspect.
But how to do it is another question mark. You've got a lot of question marks to be resolved. But moving forward, when you look at Hong Kong, particularly its relationship with the rest of China and the rest of the world, how do you see how it's going to be, located in a way? What is this map? Where is Hong Kong?
Well, Hong Kong is, of course, a part of China. And Hong Kong is a very privileged part of China because of one country, two systems. So on the one hand, we have the support and facilitating measures from the central government. At the same time, we retain our own system. This is really unique. Singapore doesn't have the system. Shanghai doesn't have the system. So how we could optimize this unique advantage of Hong Kong and position Hong Kong internationally is one of my priorities. That's why this trip to Davos is already my 6th overseas trip in the last 6 months, plus numerous trips to the mainland of China to meet with ministries and to call on provincial leaders in order to build that network for Hong Kong.
I remember very clearly, Madam Chief Executive, when attending the China Night, which is one of the featured, most important events for many Chinese at this World Economic Forum, you said one thing, and everybody was clapping for you. You said, 一家亲. It is not Hong Kong and the rest of China, but rather a whole family. But that kinds of mindset and the action related to it has to be established.
Well, definitely. But if we take a historical perspective, actually, a lot of very successful enterprises and families now in Hong Kong are immigrants from the mainland of China. So there has never been this alienation. But in recent years, I do admit that there have been some problems. There are a lot of reasons for that. I don't want to go into detail, but I do feel that with more time, a bit more tolerance and acceptance, we should be able to rebuild that bondage between Hong Kong people and mainland people.
This is the 40th anniversary of China's reform and opening up policy. During the very first stage of it, Hong Kong played a crucial part in opening up China, linking China to the rest of the world. I wonder Hong Kong, on this occasion and in the near future, when China's central government said, we're going to stick to reform and opening up policy, what role can you play?
We have benefited significantly from the reform and opening up of the mainland economy in the last 40 years and successfully transformed Hong Kong from a manufacturing center to a premier services hub. So looking ahead with the Belt and Road Initiative with the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Bay Area, I'm sure that we should be able to find a way forward for Hong Kong, which will enable us to build on our strengths and provide more opportunities for our people.
I see. Before we go, Madam Chief Executive, with the backdrop of these beautiful mountains and snow in Switzerland, may I ask you, what is your China dream?
No, I want everybody to be happy and to lead a very satisfying life. You need not really be very rich, but your life has to be very full and is doing good things for the nation, for the people.
As you said, better things are to come.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chief Executive, what a pleasure to have you here. All the best.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's Carrie Lam, the Chief Executive of Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, or Hong Kong SAR, talking to me in Davos at the World Economic Forum. She led the delegation from Hong Kong after a 6-year absence and was quite a topic at the just concluded annual Global Brainstorm meeting. Well, that is all the time we have for today. If you'd like to see more of our program, try to find us World Insight CGTN in your search engine, or check out our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Weibo. From me, Tian Wei, and everyone on the World Insight team, thanks for watching. Tune in again next time for Insights across China and around the world. Good night.